In the comments, I have received multiple questions asking what LED backlight system that I'm using. When I respond, it says the Govee T1 DreamView TV light strips for the 75 to 85 inch. People are pondering, where did I place the camera? In the video, I'm going to go ahead and show where I hid the camera and how I was able to hide the wires. But first, I want to give a big shout out and credit that goes to Mr. Tech Suggests. Without his video, I was able to successfully hide my camera and the wires behind the TV, and I'll go ahead and show exactly where it's located at. You probably heard me say this in my previous videos, but I had my basement renovated. In that process, I was able to get all my wires in place. I knew after looking at Mr. Tech Suggest video, I was able to hide the camera by using a USB Type A extension, 10 feet to be exact, and I was able to feed that wire behind the wall. That wire is what I was able to use to connect the camera to the Govee box. As for the camera, I was able to hide it right behind my center speaker, if anyone is curious. Now, it might not be ideal, but this is something that I'm using temporarily just to hide the Govee camera until I find something of a better and permanent solution for this. But for right now, I just have the camera on top of one of the boxes for one of the center speaker stand, and it works perfectly fine. So one of the main drivers as in why I chose Govee instead of Philips is, for one, that Philips, I didn't want to go through the issue of going to the whole HDMI sync box. One thing is that even if I have all my HDMIs kind of like feeding through the sync box, I still going to have some issues when it comes to playing movies or content through the TV internal app. So I know it doesn't work for that scenario. So that's one of the main drivers of why I want to go with Govee. And then also too, the value factor too. It's just one of the things is that Philips is seem like it's a good idea, but it's just spending like $500 for something that with Govee, the 75 inch, 85-inch version, I could get it for $100. So for me, I felt it was a no-brainer. And then also with the Philip Hue, with the sync box, HDMI sync box, the most negative feature is that it only does 4K 60. It doesn't do 4K 120. So I know that's going to become an issue as well if I try to plug up my PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X or PC or whatever the case may be, that I know I'm going to have some issues when it comes to gaming. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the Govee T1 DreamView 75 to 85 inch LED strips. Now in this video, I'm not going to go into too much detail like how I installed it, because that that portion did take me, I think it took me some time to really get everything together when it comes to the strips. But if anyone is curious, I have the LED strips on my Sony X95K, the 85-inch version, and I did from the edge of the TV, I did close to 2 inches on the back. And once I have everything installed, I didn't have any issues. I did have to find some extra tape just to make sure nothing was falling off. I used that just to make sure that everything is nice and clean when it comes to the setup. So you may see some blue tape, blue painter's tape that you see on the back of this TV, but that's why I just use to make sure that no wires are hanging out that obstruct the view from the Govee LED strips. Now, when it comes to the performance of the Govee, I have no complaints with it. I think it does a good job. I know some reviews talked about the input lag when it comes to the response of the LED strips. For me, you do notice it, but it's not as bad as what you may have seen. So what you're watching right now is God of War Ragnarok playing on my Sony X95K, and it's pretty responsive. I have it set up on game mode, which is set to very responsive when it comes to switching scenes for the LED strip. So you can see right now how each time it moves, the characters move, you can see that the strip will start to change the color depending on the scene. And for me, I think it's pretty responsive. I do get a lot of firmware updates from time to time from Govee, so I know they are updating the algorithm to make sure the camera can keep up with the content that is being shown. So for me, I think it's a good buy if anyone is interested. So let me know what you guys think of the Govee TV Dream View LED strips for the 75 and 85 inch. I know I haven't seen a lot of videos for the 75 and 85 inch versions for installation wise, but for me, one thing that I would say that is a negative, I kind of wish that the LED strips were a little bit longer, especially for the 85 inch version, just simply because that when I was installing everything, there still seem to be short in certain areas. You can't tell by looking at this video right now, but looking at the back of the TV, you can see some of this shortfall. So I hope that Govee does listen to this and watch this video and make their LED strips a lot longer. I know that they just came out with a latest version, the T2 version, where it has two cameras. I thought about getting that and probably returning for the T1, but after doing the installation and getting everything set up, I'm pretty much happy for the performance that it's giving me right now. So I may have to wait just for the newer version, the T3 for next year. So or the year after that. But right now I'm perfectly content with it. As in watching content wise, it's not distracting when it comes to watching movies, playing games. I don't think backlight distract me at all. I know some people are sensitive to that, but for me, it kind of enhanced the experience when it comes to watching my Sony X95K. But overall, I believe that it enhanced the whole experience using the Govee. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you interested in getting these LED strips or are you looking at other alternatives? Let me know in the comments. But if you could do me a favor by hitting that like button and that subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. And I want to say thanks again for subscribing to the channel for the people who have, and thank you for watching my videos and commenting on the videos. It really do means a lot to me. Until next time, I'll see everyone in the next video. Take care. Bye.